Yeah, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is the Firm Report. Pat Hilton and Zach Hoffman. That way. How's it going, buddy?
Going great. How about you, Pat?
Dude, another beautiful Monday. Happy to be here live with you again. Good sir. What do we got on the topics for today?
Today we got 5 topics for you. As always, we got settlement wins spotlight, the Instagram leaderboard. Then we're going to go into digital creators and traditional for law firms, why it matters, why you need to be paying attention as digital creators ad revenue is going to surpass traditional media this year. Parlaying traditional to drive digital, seeing some creatives out in the market where they're purely using traditional to drive you into digital engagement. And then Law Island parlays on Love Island. And then, as if Alexander Shunnarah couldn't find another billboard in Alabama, creates these meme accounts to drive you to take them viral.
Hey, viral is always a good thing, and I'm so excited that you loved what I sent you from Morgan & Morgan because I thought it was super creative. Since you've turned me on to their pages, I've learned so much about cool ways to just grab attention, and I think that it's helping because we had a video on your page get a bunch of hits last week with the spotlight, so I'm excited about this week as well.
For sure. And over there at Morgan & Morgan, they must have a massive think tank operating to, bring them forward ideas and people that are just tagged into what's going on social and just society in general to attract attention.
Yeah, he's clearly got a whole group of young folks, but it's also still going through the owner's hands. And I think that's brilliant because that guy's got such a great reputation. He's great on camera. He's been around a long time. People trust him. And, dude, I mean, they're playing their cards miraculously. It's beautiful.
Yep, they're playing their cards very well. Yeah, without further ado, let's go into some of the big settlements we saw posted on Instagram over the past week here. We have Dordick Law Group over in Los Angeles. They reported a $30+ million wildfire case settlement. Then you have Kelly Ustall down in South Florida reporting an $8+ million motorcycle accident settlement. As we go forward, Mendez and Sanchez in Los Angeles, $8+ million accident settlement. Ellis Injury Law with a $4 million product liability case settlement. We have Mike Morris Law Firm out of Michigan again, posting another $3 million settlement. Then we have Thornburg, Moak, and Pendergrass. It looks like they're headquartered out of Alabama with a $2 million plus auto accident. And we always got to check what Morgan & Morgan's posting. So they're stacking the board again with a $1.6 million settlement out of Lexington, Kentucky. And that takes us through our leaders board over there on Instagram. And, there's some big firms out there continuing to stack the board where their consumers are looking.
And it's so smart for these organizations to be posting on Instagram because I think that Instagram is a central place. I think everybody uses it just like Facebook. Meta's not going anywhere. And as you said, they really want to put something in a place where they can boost it, which is something that you've been talking about since we started doing these streams, that creating that organic content in a way that allows you to really boost and use that as a campaign. Dude, these people are doing it very, very well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're just crushing it. But to move forward, and they're creating consistency with their audience.
Totally.
To move forward into the second topic, we have digital creators are now essentially going to either be almost equivalent to traditional media or surpass it at close to $235 billion in ad spend. So if you continue to see your favorite brands continuing to proliferate the YouTube channel that you love or the social media channels that you love, it's by no accident. And once again, Morgan & Morgan going out there, finding creators to back them with Bass Fishing Productions. This kid has millions of subscribers, and the video in particular that Morgan & Morgan is supporting has 9+ million views. And that's just near impossible for a lot of traditional channels or any marketing channel to come across.
And I think that being in a niche like they are and still getting those kind of hits, that's very difficult. When you start to niche down, you're almost saying, hey, I'm willing to get some lower views to get a higher client ratio. And so you start to develop yourself as an expert in that niche, and kind of, you almost want to push away some of those other viewers so that you can zero in on that customer base. And these guys are still getting this huge mainstream style engagement. It's awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's beyond mainstream. I mean, those numbers crush, numbers that I think some of your traditional sports professional teams would dream of having in their marketplace. And when you look at a firm like Morgan & Morgan, they're fishing nationally. So pairing up with Bass Fishing Productions, it's a national reach show. And I'm sure he has data that supports, why he is the right place for them to be. Probably does hit a lot of people in like the Midwest, Southwest, South, like basically all over the country, because that channel is engaging and gets people to watch. But when you're looking to apply to your local firm, there are tons of influencers out there looking for support and looking for sponsors. So if you just take some typical outreach via Instagram or YouTube, some ways to reach these influencers is even in their descriptions and their bios, if you just take a look and read into it.
Well, and we've had success even with the Morgan & Morgan team liking our posts, commenting on our posts, saying thank you for sharing. Yeah. And I think that that's going to continue as we continue to highlight people that are doing this well. Why wouldn't they want to support a show that's talking about their success? Why wouldn't they want to support marketers and elite podcasts that want to discuss their wins, their settlements, and their pages? It's smart all around. It's great for everybody.
It just gets them more views, it gets them more influence, and potentially more case referrals, because the more people talking about them, the more it applies, universally.
Yeah, totally, dude. And these people have figured out, like you said, they're in their niche, but they've got like mainstream eyeball numbers. It's super cool to see and inspiring for me as a marketer, knowing I can still hit my category, but I can do it in an ad width. It's dope.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, to keep moving forward here, you have a lot of advertisers that are still in traditional media, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's how you hit new eyeballs and get people that might have never been interested in your topic to actually look into what you're doing. But we want to highlight how traditional marketers utilizing a billboard to then carry people in to their digital messaging via Instagram. So if you go check out Muscalaw.tv. They also have a website, muscalaw.com, but their billboard only represents muscalaw.tv and really draws consumers in. It's basically a landing page highlighting cool videos that they have on their Instagram, highlighting the Miami lifestyle. And he's a criminal defense lawyer, and he's trying to engage people in his funnel so that he'll be top of mind when they actually might have a case that he needs to attend to.
Well, and that entire Miami market is just super huge. I don't think that people realize how, and you're in Florida, so that market is massive.
Born and raised, and I love South Florida. But look, if you're an advertiser anywhere in the country and you're breaching 5 or 6 figures with your ad spend, go visit a major city. Go see what's happening in New York. Go see what's happening in Miami. See what's happening in Los Angeles. Go check out these markets. Take what you see as wins and apply it to yours, because these are advertisers that have been in the market for a long time, and they continue to, cut their teeth and get, very creative as to what they're doing to try to stand out. Another bustling market that we've seen is Tampa, Florida, which has a wildly growing population. So there's a lot of law firms over there competing in Tampa, but there's only a standout few, and you'd see it from just driving around town or engaging in the media there.
It's amazing also how the more you look for something, and this is an old guruism, but if you're wanting to buy a red Ferrari, then all of a sudden you start seeing red Ferraris everywhere. And since you mentioned some of these law firms and how they market and billboards versus digital and traditional versus digital and blah, blah, I've started noticing, and I text them to you. Sometimes I'll see a great billboard and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of driving to an MC job or a speaking event all the way across the country from Dallas, and I'm seeing law firm stuff. Now I'm starting to really see this is everywhere.
Oh, it's everywhere. But, as there's, I would just say, as there's potential cases everywhere, it's really important to get out there and really build your referral partner network, and then also build your reach. And there's no better way via than via social media and what we're seeing with the digital world today.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many people you can reach. 9 million people on a law firm post. I mean, that's just awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah, you could say it's a law firm post, but it's a YouTube video. The guy's got 3 million plus subscribers, and the video itself has 9 million plus views. The beauty of it is the video is going to live on forever, and he can't really go back in today's world and edit the video to essentially remove the placement. So that video placement is going to live into perpetuity. So I don't know what Morgan & Morgan paid for that, but I assure you it's probably the deal of the century versus some of these local deals that, the traditional media companies are parlaying onto the local law firms.
Oh, absolutely. You're preaching to the choir on that. Whatever they paid for that, like you said, it lives forever. They can always reference it. They can use the virality as leverage, and they can say, hey, look at how many people we can reach. How many more people can we help with that reach? And it builds trust with the consumer, because he's going almost like in the trenches style with social media, with like the School of Hard Knocks and some of those people. That's just a smooth move, man. The guy's smooth.
Morgan & Morgan's definitely smooth with his marketing reach. And, the fact is a lot of these videos, if you have to assume what somebody might be watching when they're unfortunately in a hospital room with time on their hands, they're probably not going to have on the TV because they might have a roommate, and it's kind of disrespectful to have that ambient noise going. And they might really just be engaged in their Facebook, YouTube, Instagram feeds, TikTok, whatever it may be. And that's why it's so much more important these days to be there and be top of mind.
Absolutely. And again, and we say this too, being there is one thing, but getting consistent and being able to speak to that niche in a way that has like a virility factor, that's the real challenge. Yeah. And these guys have conquered that.
For sure. Well, it's continued testing and testing. But without further ado, Love Island meets Law Island. So that's a pop culture parlay. Once again, Morgan & Morgan taking their branding, their combined style of entertainment, and applying it to Love Island as Law Island. And if you're a lawyer, it'll probably make you laugh and keep them top of mind with you. And if you're a consumer, you'll engage with the content as well. And they just released that video as I believe the season of Love Island on Peacock is just coming to an end. But we know on streaming the seasons really never end. But essentially, Morgan & Morgan parlaying Love Island into Law Island. Genius move.
It's hilarious. And when I saw that, I was just... because I follow them now, and I always try to see what kind of new stuff they're coming out with. They've got some great animation stuff that we were kind of diagnosing last week. Now they've got this Love Island one, and those were real people. I could tell that those were not AI generated, or I don't think that they were. It looked like they've got maybe some people from The Office that like sat down and helped them film those parts, and then they edited it so that it would feel real.
Oh, for sure. But there's no shortage of opportunities like that to continue to, parlay, or even when you look at like your local market for local news, like we've been talking about, to draw a hook into. I mean, look, they're playing more of a national landscape, but essentially there's a lot on the local schematic for people to start to latch into. And, the smaller the town, the smaller the city, the less media coverage there is, and the more entertainment the same people are looking for.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that people in smaller markets think, hey, I need to go into a bigger market, but sometimes being the king of the pond is also a great play. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. Being king of the pond is definitely a big play, and there's definitely opportunities, I think, to parlay being the king of a small pond and just like taking it to a whole new level. And seeing where it takes you.
Totally, man. I mean, they say the niches are where the riches are, and I think that that's proven to be true. And I just love how these examples are taking that and just magnifying it and popping it off. It's dope.
For sure. To going into, speaking of like niches or, smaller markets, the king of Alabama, Alexander Shunnarah, is lighting up the meme sphere, essentially with an Instagram profile that's taking all of his social media and just about anything they're doing and putting a meme twist into it, and it's going viral. It's taking probably, the state by storm as well as the country. And they're getting a lot of engagement and impressions, which is essentially what they're looking for, because there's probably not another billboard in Alabama that Alexander Shunnarah could put his name on. So why not go to the meme sphere to essentially continue to parlay his virility?
Absolutely. And I mean, you know what they say down there in Sweet Home Alabama?
What's that?
That the skies are blue.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, he's got heavy saturation there, and if he's looking for ways to get more impressions, he looks like one of the only law firms out there really doing it, especially that hard with a dedicated profile, creating memes to, it's an endless sphere
memes
there.
work.
And
I mean, we use them on a lot of client accounts. It depends on the client, but they definitely work. And if you're able to kind of like reconfigure like the wording on the meme to meet the category or to meet the demographic of the client avatar, it can pop.
Well, there's memes that still haven't died that people just haven't even leveraged yet. You have the action figure meme that GPT rolled out, and then you also have the viral baby videos. You could still parlay on those and have strong traction.
Absolutely. The baby videos are rule. Maybe we should make a little baby video clip of you talking about baby videos.
Hey, why not? But, in other news too, the president of the United States also took the Superman meme, essentially took the Superman poster and made his own meme this past weekend, posted on the president of the USA profile as well as the White House. And I mean, if they're doing it, it's, can't argue with the mainstream aspect of where things are going.
I think
so.
You said
it's pretty wild.
It's you said it a few weeks ago, and that's that the White House is investing heavily in a cinematic style editing on certain stuff in real time, but also they're focusing on that like virality, like you said, like meme style content that gets people talking. And I mean, again, love him or hate him, Donald Trump knows how to get people talking. That's for darn sure.
Hey, he's a marketer through and through. And at the end of the day, it's like they're cutting into the trends. That's how they won the election was, they said podcasting and social media. So you got to take the lessons in the playbook and apply it to your own business. There's the era is shifted.
Absolutely. And I think that the signs are everywhere that over the next 2 years, I think that with YouTube's announcement that AI generated and inauthentic content will be unable to be monetized, that means that AI music, AI podcasts, AI creators, they're not going to be able to monetize that content. And the real creators on YouTube are going to stand out. And I've said it for a while. I love AI tools. We use a lot of them in the business for editing, etc. But nothing beats real human connection. When it comes down to it, an AI robot doesn't have a social security number or a bank account. You cannot transact with it. You need human beings.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I think it's just more and more important to start now with that human connection. And these law firms are doing that, and they're doing it well.
Hey, look, there's no better day to start than today or yesterday. But the fact is as you continue to see, I would say Zuckerberg dumping, fortunes into AI right now. I think he's up to like 9-figure offers to get people on his team. It's mind blowing, and that's on an annual basis. So if you think AI is not listening, interpreting videos, interpreting everything you're saying, everything that's being typed, it's never been more important to have a more 360 approach to your digital presence than today.
Absolutely. And Zach, more than anybody is going to love this one. Your Instagram content for you law firms out there and you law firm marketers, it is now ranking your Instagram videos based on the SEO in the descriptions as of July 10th. And so this week, when we go in to do the videos and the clips and that, we really want to make sure as marketers, any marketer, by the way, especially you law firms out there, that you're getting those SEO keywords. If you're in Alabama, you really want to hammer down on adding that location to your video. Where's your office in Alabama? Who are the people that you're targeting? Make a longer description than you normally would, because who knows if Google's AI system reads that nice SEO that you've added into your description, pop up to the top.
Yeah, it's getting more serious than that. I mean, they're definitely captioning and dialoguing everything you're saying into the text. So it's never been more important from a digital marketing perspective to be out there on the horn and speaking in your videos, and definitely, lacing it in with some keywords and also making sure that people know what you're talking about, but be relevant and be frequent.
Absolutely.
Test.
Consistency wins. And again, I love that split test stuff, try stuff with different edits. If one thing worked, try it again the next week. I think that the client spotlight's great here. I think it separates us from anybody else doing a podcast in this category, and we're going to keep it up.
For sure.
We want to showcase successful people because we want you guys to see how it's done in the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, at the law firms, keep up the creativity. We're watching, so definitely we'd love to, even get some DMs about like what you might be doing out in your marketplace that you'd like us to highlight or even critique. But we're going to continue to find it and, capitalize on sharing it anyhow.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's just an awesome way to make sure we're supporting people that are out there supporting people, actively helping people that need help. And there's no better way to do that than to highlight the people that are doing it the right way. So I love it all.
Well, yeah, it's, you gotta look at the law firm marketing as a whole, and definitely, I think, just exposing what's going out there across the country definitely will bring ideas into various markets, throughout the nation, and just make everybody step their game up to a whole nother level.
I love it. I love it. Zach Hoffman in the house. If people could do one thing this week before we go, I'm going to put you on for one last blast here. If people could do one thing this week to separate themselves from the other law firms, what would that one thing you would suggest people do?
Post a big verdict, post a big win that you had either this week, this month, this year, something for, when a consumer goes to check you out on social media that they're like, wow, I'm at the right place.
Yeah, I like that. You always want to show that proof, build that trust, and stay consistent with that. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Firm Report brought to you by Exalts in the building. I got my man, Zach Hoffman. I am Pat Hilton. It is another Monday in the books, and we will see you on the next one.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, sir.